You are seeing this for one reason. The universal mechanism that has held you in place is about to release. Your biggest comeback is not just possible. It is a physical and spiritual inevitability. It is imminent. This isn't a hopeful platitude. This is not another empty promise whispered into the void of your frustration. We are not here to talk about affirmations or positive thinking. We are here to discuss a fundamental principle of energy dynamics, a law of the cosmos that governs the collapse of dying stars and the triumphant return of the human spirit. We're talking about potential energy. We're talking about quantum tension. And we are talking about a cosmic release that has been building for years, perhaps your entire life. In the next hour, I'm going to prove to you with a precision that will resonate in the very marrow of your bones that every setback you have ever experienced was not random. Every delay was not a denial. Every moment of profound, soul-crushing frustration was a necessary, calculated part of a cosmic slingshot being pulled back for you. Every closed door, every painful goodbye, every plan that crumbled into dust was the universe gathering tension, accumulating the power required for your next chapter. We will call this governing principle the Quantum Slingshot Effect. It is the physics of divine timing. It is the sacred mechanics behind the universal truth that the greatest breakthroughs are always, without exception, preceded by the greatest tension. It explains why you feel stuck before a breakthrough, why the silence feels loudest just before the symphony begins. And if you've been feeling it, that specific hollow ache of being stuck, if you have felt exhausted, like you've been running a marathon in place while the rest of the world sprints past you on the horizon, if you have looked at your life and felt a deep cognitive dissonance between the work you've put in and the results you see, if you carry a secret fear that you missed your chance, that the universe has somehow forgotten you, then I need you to listen with every cell in your body. That feeling is not a sign of failure. It is not an indication that you are on the wrong path. That feeling of being stretched to your absolute limit, of being pulled so far back you can no longer even see your target, that is the primary symptom. It is the undeniable, energetic proof that you are at maximum tension. It is the sign that you are ready to be launched. If you feel the truth of this divine timing in your bones, if this message is landing not just in your mind, but in your soul, hit the like button now. It's more than an interaction with a video, it's an energetic agreement, an affirmation to the universe that you are ready for this comeback. Think of the simple, elegant physics of a slingshot. It's a perfect metaphor for the most powerful creative force in the universe. To launch a stone forward, you must first pull it backward. There is no other way. The potential for forward motion does not exist without the initial backward pull. And here is the critical law. The distance the stone will fly is directly and unalterably proportional to how far back it was pulled. A small pullback creates a small flight. A massive pullback, a pullback that strains the elastic to its very limits, that makes the anchor point tremble. That kind of pullback unleashes a staggering, almost unbelievable amount of kinetic energy. It sends the stone flying further, faster, and with more impact than could ever have been achieved from a gentle toss. Now look at your life. Have you ever felt like you were moving backward no matter how hard you tried to move forward? Have you experienced periods where it felt like you were losing ground, where your past successes seemed to mock your present stagnation? That was not a regression. That was the universe pulling you back. Every challenge you overcame, every night you spent wrestling with your own doubts, every tear you shed for a dream that seemed to die, that was not wasted energy, it was stored energy. Each obstacle added more tension to the band. Each moment of surrender, when you had to let go of a timeline you thought you wanted, allowed the cosmic archer to pull you back even further, to aim you at a destination you couldn't have even conceived of from your original starting point. You have been living in the tension of the pullback. You have mistaken the sacred accumulation of potential energy for personal failure. You thought you were stuck. You were actually being aimed. By the end of this journey together, you will no longer see your past as a series of unfortunate events. You will no longer view your struggles as a burden to be carried. You will see your history for what it truly is. You will see it as your launch pad. You will understand that the pain, the waiting, the uncertainty, it was all fuel, and you are about to fly. To understand the comeback, you must first understand the physics of the pause. The universe does not operate on hope. It operates on principles, on laws of energy and motion that are as real and as reliable as gravity. What you have been experiencing is not a spiritual test of your patience, but a physical process of energy accumulation. Let's talk about the two fundamental states of energy: potential and kinetic. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. It is the arrow flying through the air. It is the business launching, the relationship starting, the body healing. It is the energy of doing, of becoming, of visible, measurable progress. This is the energy our culture worships. It's the energy of the hustle, the grind, the forward momentum. We are taught to value only what we can see moving. But there is another energy, a quieter, far more powerful energy, potential energy. Potential energy is stored energy. It is the energy of readiness. It is the immense, silent power contained in a dam holding back 1 billion gallons of water. It is the coiled tension in a spring compressed to its limit. It is the drawn bowstring humming with the promise of release. Potential energy is invisible, but it is the true source of all explosive change. You cannot have a powerful kinetic release without first accumulating an immense amount of potential energy. And this is the secret of your journey. For months, maybe years, you have been accumulating potential energy. Every challenge you faced, every setback you endured, every moment you chose to keep going when every cell in your body screamed for you to quit. That was not just a story. It was not just a memory. It was a measurable transaction of universal energy. You are converting the friction of your struggle into stored, usable power. Every tear, every dark night of the soul was a deposit into your cosmic account, a tightening of the universal slingshot's band. This is not a metaphor. It is the mechanism. Think of it. The elastic band of this slingshot is woven from the fabric of space-time itself. The tension you have felt, that relentless pulling back sensation, is the literal accumulation of potential energy within your quantum field, stored from overcoming the immense resistance life has presented you. And the anchor point, the steady hand holding this cosmic instrument, is your higher self, your soul, the part of you that never forgot the target, that has been holding the aim perfectly steady, even when your human eyes could only see that you were moving backward. It's time we give this process its proper name. It is a universal law, and we will call it the Quantum Slingshot Effect. Let's define it with the precision it deserves. The Quantum Slingshot Effect is the universal law which states that the magnitude of a future quantum leap is directly proportional to the accumulated energetic tension from a preceding period of perceived stagnation or regression. Read that again. Let it dismantle the old stories. Directly proportional. This means the intensity of the pullback determines the velocity of the launch. The duration of your pause dictates the distance of your flight. The depth of your perceived failure is the very thing that guarantees the height of your comeback. This is not a platitude. It is a formula. It removes the cruel randomness from your suffering and reveals its sacred, perfect geometry. The universe was not punishing you. It was aiming you. And this explains why all your old methods failed. It explains the maddening frustration of the last few years. You were trying to solve a potential energy problem with a kinetic energy solution. You were pushing, hustling, forcing, and striving. You were trying to fly while the archer was still pulling back the bow. Imagine the arrow in that bow. What would happen if it struggled, if it tried to wriggle free and launch itself? It would clatter uselessly to the ground. Its fight against the tension would negate the entire purpose of the mechanism. Your effort to break free during this phase was counterproductive for a reason. You were fighting the very process designed to give you unprecedented momentum. The universe wasn't asking for your effort. It was asking for your surrender. It was asking for your trust. It was a phase that required stillness, integration, and the courage to allow the tension to build to its absolute, calibrated maximum. Any premature release, any escape you might have engineered, would have resulted in a weak, low-energy launch, landing you in a reality that was only marginally better than the one you left. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, was protecting you from a mediocre outcome. It held you in place, pulling you further and further back, because the destination it has in mind for you is so far beyond the one you were aiming for that it required a galactic-level charge. So, why do I feel stuck before a breakthrough? Because that feeling of maximum tension, that feeling of being pulled to your absolute limit, is not a sign of failure. It is the scientific prerequisite for maximum acceleration. The feeling of being stuck was never a prison. It was a cosmic charging station. It was a divine incubation chamber where your potential was being amplified beyond your comprehension. The entire goal of this period was not to escape it, but to allow it to complete its sacred function, to let the slingshot be pulled all the way back, to let the charge build until the universe itself confirmed it was complete. This one shift in perception changes everything. The years you thought were wasted now become the most valuable and productive period of your entire existence, because those were the years you were accumulating the energetic capital for everything that is about to happen next. The debt has been paid. The energy has been stored. The tension is at its peak. Take a moment. Feel into that. Where in your life have you felt the most resistance, the strongest pull backward? Acknowledge that specific tension now. Don't judge it. Don't resist it. Simply see it for what it truly is. It is the signature of your stored power. It is the hum of the engine right before ignition. It is the undeniable proof that your launch is not just possible, but inevitable. For your entire life, you have operated under one fundamental, flawed assumption, an assumption so deeply ingrained it feels like a law of nature. That assumption is this: when you feel a force holding you back, it is an obstacle preventing you from reaching your desired destination. You have defined your struggle as the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and you have seen the tension holding you in place as the enemy. You have fought it. You have cursed it. You have tried to break free from it, believing that freedom meant escaping this pull. But this entire framework is built on a profound misunderstanding of the physics of reality creation. Here is the central paradox of the quantum slingshot effect. You are not being held back from your destination. You are being held back and aimed at a destination far greater than the one you originally chose for yourself. Read that again. Let it dismantle years of perceived failure. The tension you have been fighting was never an obstacle. It was a targeting system. The universe, your higher self, the grand architect of your path, was not denying your request for a better life. It was looking at your small, self-prescribed target and saying, no, not that, something much, much bigger. The force pulling you back was the very same force calibrating your trajectory. This changes everything, absolutely everything. It means that the painful breakup, the one that you thought derailed your life, was the universe clearing the path and recalibrating your aim towards a partnership with a frequency you couldn't even have conceived of back then. It means that the failed business venture wasn't a sign of your inadequacy. It was the universe pulling you back from a small pond to launch you towards an ocean of possibility. It was accumulating the lessons, the resilience, the wisdom, the potential energy required for a much larger impact. The length of your struggle is not a measure of your failure. It is a direct measure of the magnitude of your launch. The longer the pullback, the more potential energy is stored, the more tension you have endured, the more kinetic force you are about to unleash. You were never rejected. You were being redirected. You were never denied. You were being upgraded. The universe was not punishing you with the delay. It was honoring you with a greater destiny. This is the quantum slingshot effect explained in one sentence. The universe uses perceived setbacks to increase your potential energy, so your comeback lands you in a reality you couldn't have reached from your original starting point. From your old position, you could only see so far, you could only dream so big. Your original trajectory was limited by your old beliefs, your old identity. To get you to the new timeline, the one your soul truly contracted for, the universe couldn't just nudge you. It had to pull you all the way back. It had to take you off the old path completely, stretch the fabric of your reality to its limit, and re-aim your entire being. So what does this mean for your approach? It means the work is over. The fight is done. The old paradigm was about breaking free. It was about effort, struggle, and pushing against resistance. The new paradigm is about trusting the aim. It's about ceasing the fight with the archer, who is, in fact, your own higher self. Your job during the pullback was never to snap the elastic band. It was to allow it to stretch to its full capacity. Now, your only job is to become aerodynamically aligned with the release. Think of an arrow. An arrow does not fight the bow, it surrenders to its tension. It becomes still, focused, and aligned with the target. Its power comes not from its own effort, but from its perfect cooperation with the energy that is about to send it flying. You must now do the same. This means letting go of the old stories of struggle. It means releasing the identity of the one who is stuck. It means smoothing out the rough edges of your own doubt, fears, and impatience, the parts of you that would create drag and disrupt your flight path. This is a fundamental transformation of identity. You are not a victim of delay. You are a projectile chosen for a high-impact mission. You are not a person who has failed. You are a specialized instrument that has been meticulously prepared. The years of waiting were not wasted time. They were your training ground. The moments of despair were not cosmic cruelty. They were energetic forging, strengthening you so you could withstand the velocity of your own breakthrough. Every lesson, every tear, every moment you got back up after being knocked down, it all added to the tension. It all became potential energy, stored, humming, and ready. You are not scarred by your past. You are powered by it. What if the moment you felt you lost, everything was actually the moment the universe decided your destination was bigger than you had ever imagined? This cosmic process leaves fingerprints. It leaves evidence. You understand the principle now. You have had the epiphany that you are the arrow, not the victim of the pullback. But the human mind, conditioned for a world of linear cause and effect, needs proof. It needs to see the tension lines in the fabric of reality to truly believe that the release is not just a hope, but a physical inevitability. I am going to show you 3 counterintuitive signs that prove you are at the point of maximum tension. These are not feel-good platitudes. These are observable, experiential markers that you can map directly onto your own life. If you recognize these signs, your launch is not just coming, it is here. The first sign is the great shedding. This is often the most painful and misunderstood phase of the entire process. It's the sudden, often inexplicable departure of people, jobs, relationships, and even core identities that you believed were permanent fixtures of your life. A friendship of 20 years dissolves over a minor disagreement. A career you built for a decade suddenly feels hollow, and you're forced to walk away. A belief system that once defined you crumbles into dust overnight. From the outside, and even from the inside, this looks like loss. It feels like failure. It feels like your world is falling apart, that you are being abandoned and rejected by the very universe you've been trying to align with. Your logical mind screams that you are moving backward, losing ground, becoming less than you were. But this is a profound misunderstanding of the physics at play. An arrow destined for a target hundreds of yards away must be perfectly aerodynamic. Any excess weight, any splintered fletching, any slight imbalance will drastically alter its trajectory, causing it to fall short or veer wildly off course. The great shedding is the universe, the divine archer, performing a final, more critical calibration. It is lovingly and sometimes ruthlessly, stripping away everything from your life that cannot make the journey with you to the new timeline. That person who left was an energetic anchor to your past. That job that ended was a cage limiting the altitude of your flight. That identity you shed was a heavy costume that would have created too much drag in the new atmosphere you are about to enter. It feels like loss, but it is liberation. It feels like subtraction, but it is purification. You were not being abandoned. You were being streamlined. Every departure created a vacuum, and that vacuum is now pulling your future towards you at an accelerated rate. The pain of the shedding was real, but it was the fire purifying the gold. It was the necessary price for the velocity you are about to experience. The second sign is even more paradoxical. It is the arrival of an inner calm in the midst of outer chaos. Think about your life right now. Externally, things may be more uncertain than ever. The finances may not make sense. The path forward may be completely obscured. The world may seem louder, more chaotic, more demanding, and yet, deep within you, beneath the surface-level anxiety of the mind, there is a strange, quiet knowing, a sense of peace that defies all logic. This is the stillness of the arrow. Imagine the moment the archer has pulled the bowstring back to its absolute limit. The tension in the bow is immense, trembling with stored power. The target is locked. The aim is true. In that split second before the release, the arrow itself is perfectly still. It is not struggling, it is not fighting. It is held in a state of pure potential, surrendered completely to the aim of the archer. That inner calm you're feeling is the resonance of your soul acknowledging this sacred pause. It is your higher self communicating directly to your nervous system, bypassing the panicked mind and saying, "All is well, the trajectory is calculated, the power is accumulated, Be still and know. This is why you can feel a sense of trust even when your bank account says you shouldn't. It's why you can feel a quiet optimism even when your circumstances scream for despair. This is not delusion. It is the most powerful form of confirmation. It is the energetic signature of a system at maximum potential, perfectly balanced and ready for a flawless release into kinetic action. The chaos outside is merely the world reacting to the immense gravitational pull you are generating. The calm inside is you, the arrow, perfectly aligned and ready to fly. And this leads to the third and final sign, the one that confirms the release command has been given. The arrival of the catalyst. The universe does not pull the slingshot back indefinitely. The release is a timed, precise, and conscious event. And it is always preceded by a trigger, a final piece of the puzzle that clicks into place, giving the entire system the green light to launch. This catalyst often appears as a synchronistic event, a book falling off a shelf with the exact answer you needed. A chance encounter with a stranger who says the one sentence that changes your entire perspective. An idea that arrives in a dream with such clarity that it feels more real than your waking life. Or it can be a piece of information, a concept, a transmission of energy and data that lands in your awareness at the perfect moment, a piece of content, like this very video. You did not find this by accident. The algorithm that brought this to you was not random. It was a servant to the law of attraction, responding to the immense potential energy you have been storing. You are seeing this because the archer has determined that you are now fully drawn, perfectly aimed, and the time for waiting is over. This message, this framework of the quantum slingshot effect, is the sound of the archer's fingers releasing the string. It is the final permission slip, the energetic activation code. The great shedding cleared your path. The inner calm aligned your being. And this catalyst is the signal that the journey has begun. Look back now. See the pattern. These events were not random misfortunes or lucky coincidences. They were a predictable, sequential checklist confirming your imminent launch. Which of these three signs have you been misinterpreting as a negative omen, and how do you see it now? The painful breakup, the frustrating job loss, the confusing sense of peace amid the storm, the sudden urge to click on this video. They are not signs that you failed. They are the undeniable fingerprints of a master archer preparing to fire a chosen arrow. In the comments, share one setback from your past that you now recognize as the universe pulling back your slingshot. Let's create a powerful vortex of shared transformation. Let's document the moment we all realized our pain was not a punishment, but the source of our power. Your story will be the catalyst for someone else. You understand this now on a logical level. You have seen the evidence in your own life. You have connected the dots, recognized the signs, and reframed the narrative of your past. But understanding is not the same as embodying. Belief is not the same as certainty. The final piece of this equation is not an intellectual assent. It is an energetic permission, a full-body agreement to let go of the tension you have come to understand. So now we move from the mind into the quantum field of the body. We move from theory into the lived, felt experience of release. Together, we are going to give the universe the final, unequivocal signal. The signal that you are ready. Find a comfortable position, one where you can feel your body supported, where you can let go. Close your eyes if that feels right for you. Take a deep, slow breath in, kauksas, and as you exhale, release the day, release the noise, release the skepticism. Come into this present moment. Here, now, bring your awareness to the space just behind your physical body. Imagine it, sense it, feel into it. This is the point from which you have been pulled back, and now I want you to feel the elastic band of space-time itself. It is not an abstract idea. Feel it as a tangible force, pulled taut, humming with immense power. This band is connected to every moment of your past that felt like a struggle, every rejection that felt like an ending, every delay that seeded frustration. But feel it differently now. Do not feel it as a story of pain. Feel it as pure, stored, potential energy. Every tear you shed was not wasted. It added tensile strength. Every time you got back up, the band was stretched a little further. Every lesson learned in the dark was a turn of the cosmic winch, pulling you back, increasing the tension. Feel that tension now, not as discomfort, but as a deep, resonant hum, a vibration of readiness. It is the accumulated power of your entire life, focused into this one singular point in time. It is your power. It is your fuel. Now shift your awareness from the tension behind you to the infinite space in front of you. Out there is your target, but do not try to see it with your eyes. That is the old way. You cannot see a frequency. You must feel it. Your target is a feeling state. It is the feeling of your comeback reality, the vibration of your highest timeline. What does it feel like to have already arrived? Feel the ease in your shoulders. Feel the peace in your heart. Feel the quiet confidence in your gut. Feel the freedom of no longer striving, no longer pushing, no longer hoping. Feel the simple, profound reality of being. The feeling of living in the answer to the prayers you once whispered into the dark. This feeling is not distant. It is not something you have to chase. It is the point you are already aimed at. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has held you in this tension precisely because it had to align your trajectory with this specific destination, a destination your conscious mind may have thought was impossible, but your higher self knew. The archer has always known. Feel the perfect alignment, the tension behind you, the target feeling in front of you. You are the conduit between the two. You are the arrow. And now, we enter the still point, the moment of absolute silence, the pause between the pullback and the release. In this moment, all of space-time holds its breath with you. There is no past. There is no future. There is only this infinite, pregnant pause. All the stored potential of the universe is coiled within you. This is the eye of the storm, the deep calm, the singularity of your becoming. Nothing to do, nothing to force, nowhere to go. Simply be the arrow at its point of maximum potential. Still, silent, perfectly aimed. And now, on my count, we are going to give the universe permission. We are going to surrender to the release, not by pushing, but by letting go. 3. Feel the finality of your readiness. 2. Acknowledge the archer who aimed you. 1. Release. Feel it. Feel the tension dissolving not into chaoses, but into pure, forward, effortless motion. The elastic band goes slack as all of its stored energy is instantly converted into kinetic velocity. You are not pushing. You are not striving. You are flying. Feel the sensation of acceleration without effort. Feel the landscape of your old reality blurring past you. Feel the wind of change against your skin. This is not a violent launch. It is a silent, graceful, powerful glide through the quantum field. You are pure momentum, pure trajectory, pure arrival. Stay with this feeling of flight for another moment. Gently, slowly, begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body, but do not leave the feeling of flight behind. Bring it with you, integrate it. As you felt that release, as you experienced that effortless acceleration, what one word describes the feeling of your future self arriving? What word defines the air you are flying through now? Freedom, clarity, peace, inevitability, whatever it is, hold that word in your heart. It is your compass now. The release has been initiated. You are now in flight. This is not a metaphor for a future event. This is a statement of your current energetic reality. The tension has been converted into momentum. The potential has become kinetic. The person who was held back, the one who felt stuck and mired in the past, that identity dissolved in the moment of release. You are no longer that person. You are the person in the midst of their comeback. So the question changes. It is no longer, when will my breakthrough happen? It is now. How do I navigate this incredible acceleration? When an arrow is released, it does not claw its way through the air. It does not struggle. It surrenders to its own velocity, its own perfect trajectory. Your work now is to become like that arrow, to align with the momentum that is already yours, to master the art of being in flight. You have transformed the past into pure power. Here is how to use past struggles for success in the most practical way, not as a memory to be healed, but as the very thrust that is propelling you forward. This requires a new set of tools, not tools for breaking free, but tools for steering, not for creating motion, but for navigating it. The first tool is what we will call the anchor point affirmation. An arrow in flight doesn't wish for its target. It is aligned with its target. Its entire structure, its fletching, its point, is in a constant, dynamic relationship with its destination. You must now do the same with your language and your focus. The old paradigm of "I want" or "I hope for" is the language of separation. It is the language of the person being pulled back, looking at a distant desire. That is no longer you. Your new language is the language of arrival. From this moment on, you will cease stating what you want. You will begin declaring where you are arriving. Instead of "I want financial freedom," your affirmation becomes "I am arriving at a reality of absolute financial sovereignty." Instead of "I hope to find a loving partner," your affirmation is "I am arriving at the frequency of sacred, unconditional partnership." Do you feel the shift? Wanting creates a chasm between you and your desire. Arriving acknowledges you are already in motion, closing the gap with every moment that passes. This isn't a trick of the mind. It is a command to the quantum field. You are providing the coordinates of your destination while you are in midair. Use this daily. Use it hourly. Calibrate your trajectory. I am arriving at, and then state the feeling, the reality, the state of being you are collapsing into existence. The second tool is for navigating energetic turbulence. As you accelerate, you create a wake. Your sudden velocity disrupts the static energetic field of your old reality. The people, situations, and belief systems anchored in that old reality will feel this disruption, consciously or not. Some may attempt to create drag. They may project doubt. They may question your sudden change. They may not recognize the person you are rapidly becoming. Their shock is a testament to your speed. It is critical that you do not mistake their turbulence for your own. Their disbelief is not a reflection of your trajectory. It is a reflection of their fixed position. To slow down to explain yourself, to justify your flight, is to risk being pulled back into their gravitational field. The tool is this: conscious non-engagement. You see the turbulence. You acknowledge the wake you are creating, but you do not absorb its frequency. You become an aerodynamic observer. You bless their position, and you hold to your own velocity. Your speed is your shield. Your focus on your arrival point is your guidance system. Do not slow down to debate the physics of your flight with those who are standing still. Your comeback is not a proposition to be debated. It is a phenomenon to be witnessed. The third, and perhaps most crucial tool, is the conscious act of decommissioning the past. Imagine your past struggles, every single one of them, as the powerful rocket boosters that got you off the ground. They provided the immense, concentrated energy for your launch. But once a rocket has left the atmosphere, it jettisons its boosters. To carry them further would be to carry dead weight, slowing its journey to the stars. Your past has served its purpose. It provided the potential energy. It has been converted. Its job is done. To continue carrying the stories of struggle, the identity of the victim, the pain of the setback, is to try and fly while dragging your own launch pad behind you. It is an impossible physics. The release must be total. This requires a conscious ritual. Right now, bring to mind the totality of the challenges that created the tension. See them not as scars or wounds, but as those magnificent, powerful fuel tanks. And now, with a heart full of gratitude, you thank them. Thank you for the tension. Thank you for the power. Thank you for the precise calibration that made this exact trajectory possible. You have served me perfectly. Your purpose has been fulfilled. And I release you now. You don't fight them. You don't resist them. You simply uncouple from them. You let them fall away, back into the fabric of space-time. Their energy now fully integrated into your forward motion. You are lighter. You are faster. You are free. What is the one story about your past being a failure that you will consciously release? Starting right now, acknowledge it, thank it for the fuel, and let it go. This is the new framework for your existence. This is the shift in your very identity. You have moved from a life of effortful striving to one of effortless acceleration. The work is no longer about pushing a boulder up a hill. The work is about steering your flight through the cosmos. It is a shift from force to alignment, from struggle to surrender. You are no longer just the arrow that was aimed. You have now become the quantum archer, the conscious intelligence that chooses the target, that understands the physics of the release, and that masterfully navigates the journey of arrival. You now understand the Quantum Slingshot Effect. It is no longer a theory. It is a felt sense in your bones, a new map for your history, a new physics for your future. You have done more than just listen. You have participated in an energetic release. You felt the tension that defined your past transform into the pure, humming potential that is now fueling your present. You have the tools. You know how to affirm your arrival, how to navigate the turbulence of acceleration, how to decommission the stories that once kept you anchored in place. The comeback is not a distant promise. It is in motion, right now, but this new state of being, this glorious flight, raises a profound and critical question. What happens when the arrow hits the target? What happens when this incredible kinetic energy of your arrival meets the shores of your new reality? Launching is a master skill. You have initiated it. But landing and building in that new reality, that is the next level of mastery. You have been prepared for the journey, but what of the destination? Now that you are in flight, what if landing successfully requires a completely new set of skills? Skills you haven't yet learned, because you've never traveled at this velocity before, never arrived at a timeline this high. When the immense energy of your arrival, the culmination of your entire past, impacts the quantum field of your destination, a fascinating and potentially dangerous event occurs. Your new reality, for a brief but critical window of time, exists in a state of superposition. It is both real and fragile, solid and ethereal. It is here, but it is not yet anchored. This is the moment where a process called reality stabilization must occur. Without it, the powerful energetic signature of your old life, the familiar frequency of your past struggles, can act like a cosmic gravity well. It still has a pull. The disbelief of others, your own lingering muscle memory of limitation, the sheer shock of your new success, all of it can create an undertow. This undertow can pull you back. It can cause you to rebound, to snap back to the very reality you just launched from, making you believe your magnificent comeback was just a temporary dream, a fleeting glimpse of what could have been. We will not allow that to happen. Your launch was too important. The tension you endured was too great to let the arrival be temporary, and that is precisely what we will architect in our next deep dive together. We will move from the physics of the launch to the physics of the landing. The video is titled Reality Stabilization Explained: How to Anchor Your New Timeline After a Quantum Leap. In it, we will explore the specific protocols to take your new reality from a fragile quantum potential and solidify it into your new, permanent, physical baseline. We will learn the art of energetic anchoring, of timeline consolidation, of making your comeback irreversible. We will ensure the new ground beneath your feet becomes solid earth, ready for you to build upon. Subscribe and activate all notifications because the next video, Reality Stabilization Explained, is the critical next step to anchor the new life you're about to launch into. Before we close this chapter, I want you to do one last thing. Feel this moment. Feel the air rushing past you as you fly, the weightlessness, the forward momentum. Now, in your mind's eye, look to your left, look to your right. You are not flying alone. You are not the only arrow held in the quiver of the universe, being pulled back in silence and shadow. All around you, in every corner of this planet, other arrows are being released. You are part of a synchronized global release of consciousness, a cosmic volley of souls launching into their highest timelines all at once. The air is thick with our collective momentum. This isn't just your comeback. It is a planetary shift. And you are not just a participant. You are in the vanguard. You are one of the ones who was pulled back the furthest, who endured the most tension, so that you could fly the highest and become a living testament to what is possible when we trust the divine aim of the universe. Fly true.